Did you know there's more than one way to own a home? Stick around for everything you need to know about types of tenancy. Hi, I'm Paula Flagg with Paula Flagg Homes, and today I'd like to talk with you about the types of tenancy when you're buying a home. Now, there are a few types that are very common, and then there are some types that are not available in Virginia, DC, and Maryland, but do exist around the country. Now, the first one is simple. It's if one person is buying a property, then that ownership is going to be called sole ownership. And it's pretty straightforward, and it's really what we think about when we think about someone buying a home. So, what happens though when you're buying a home with two or more people? And how is that ownership divided? So, the first type of tenancy I want to discuss with you is called tenants in common. So, tenants in common is when the parties can either own equal shares or they can own disproportionate shares. For instance, if you have two owners, one person could own 70%, one person could own 30%. If you have three owners, one owner could own 50%, the other two owners could own 25%. So it really could be broken down any way. You just want to make sure that that is clearly stated on your deed when you are closing. You also want to make sure that when you sell the property, that the title is taking that into account and your tax documents state the proceeds based on your percentage of ownership. Now, there's one big distinction with tenants in common that's different from the other types of tenancy, and that is there's no rights of survivorship, which means if something were to happen to an owner, the portion of the property that that person owns does not automatically transfer to the other owners. That portion can be willed to the owner's heirs. It also can be sold separately. For instance, if you have a property owned by three people and one person would like to cash out, they can sell to the current other owners. They can also sell their portion to another owner. That's different from the next type of tenancy, which is called joint tenancy. So, joint tenancy has what's called rights of survivorship. So, if something happens to any of the owners, uh, the portion of the property that that person owns will automatically be redistributed to the other owners. The other thing that makes joint tenancy different is that all owners have equal portions of ownership for the property, so it can't be disproportionate. There are three people who own the property, then they each own a third. Now, the next type of tenancy is a special type of joint tenancy that is specifically for a married couple. So, you do get the rights of survivorship with tenants by the entirety, which means if one spouse passes away, then the other spouse automatically owns the entire property. And it's the logistics of that are a little different from state to state in this area, but the house automatically goes to the surviving spouse. Tenants by the entirety for married couples also has an extra layer of protection. Now, let's say that one of the spouses ends up in a lawsuit or someone sues them and they lose, or they run up a lot of credit card debt and now they have a lien against them for some reason. That debt cannot be attached to the property because it's on tenants by the entirety. As long as the other spouse is not named in the liability as well. Now, for those of you who actually purchased your home before you got married, but you're married now and you're wondering what type of tenancy do I have? Well, by default, when you purchased the house, you weren't married, so you would have had joint tenancy, which does give you the rights of survivorship, but it doesn't give you that extra layer of protection that tenants by the entirety does. So there's a really quick solution for that. You can either reach out to me, I can get you in touch with a title company, or you can reach out to any title company that you would like to work with. And for a few $100s, they will write a new deed that changes the type of tenancy and record that with the county, and that will give you that extra layer of protection. Now, in other states and other parts of the country, there is another type of tenancy called community property, and that is related to married people as well. And in those states, you're not allowed to take ownership of a property in your own name alone if you are married. By default, the spouse will become part owner of that property as well. But if you have any questions about that, I'd be happy to put you in touch with someone who is a little bit more familiar with it, since it's not something that is here in the Virginia, DC, Maryland area. It's not something that I work with on a daily basis. Anyway, if you have any questions about this or any other real estate topics, please feel free to give me a call at 202-670-5880, and I'd be happy to help you. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video today. I hope it was helpful. And as always, thank you for choosing Paula Flagg Homes for all of your real estate needs.